Hi, welcome to your 15-minute workout. And today we're going to go back to the basics. And that's going to be core activation. So we're going to talk about the parts of the core, also known as the powerhouse. But what you're going to need, I suggest, it's just a suggestion, you don't have to have these props, but they can be useful for a couple of the exercises today, is either a foam roller, could be full-length foam roller or half the size is fine, a firm pillow, or a small ball. This is a Nerf ball, so there's a little bit of give. You could also go slightly larger, slightly smaller, a little harder, or a little softer. When we get to this, you'll kind of see why. The harder, smaller it is, the more intense the exercise is. The larger, the softer it is, the little less intense it is. So first, what we're going to start with is going through the core, the parts of the core. And we're going to use the term powerhouse a little bit more today, which may not be as well known. It's a term that's used more frequently in Pilates. And so I think of our core as a house. And so the core is a group of muscles that stabilize our bodies so that we can move more powerfully, there's the term powerhouse, and more effectively, more efficiently, and more easily. And the first one we're going to talk about is the diaphragm. So that's kind of jellyfish shaped. It moves up and down like this. It's connected around your ribs. And when you breathe in, so let's place our hands onto our ribs, and you can sit however you comfortably want to sit. You can sit on a chair today for this first part. You can sit seated cross-legged or with your feet in a diamond shape or out in the front, whatever is most comfortable for you. And sitting up tall, you're going to take a deep breath into your hands and feel those ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel how the rib cage closes and narrows. So breathe in and breathe out. And see if you can breathe equally side to side and front to back. And as the rib cage expands, your diaphragm is tightening and drawing air into the lungs. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm is relaxing, it's floating up, and the air leaves your lungs. So once again, the diaphragm drops down, draws down and draws the air in, and contracts. It's engaged. And as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, it floats back up, and the air comes out. And its partner in that movement are your pelvic floor muscles or your Kegel muscles. So talking about the house, the diaphragm is sort of the roof of the house. The pelvic floor muscles or Kegel muscles are the foundation or the floor of your house. And so as your diaphragm, so place those hands back onto your rib cage, as the rib cage expands and the diaphragm engages, and as it drops down, the pelvic floor drops down and relaxes. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm floats up, it relaxes, and your pelvic floor Kegel muscles tighten and engage as they lift up. So just think about that. We're not doing Kegels yet, but just think about the connection of these two kind of jellyfish-like muscle groups as they're moving together. So the diaphragm relaxes and the pelvic floor engages, and the diaphragm engages as the pelvic floor relaxes. So just a couple more deep breaths into the ribs. And as you breathe out, you naturally do a Kegel, even if you don't feel that sensation. Now we're going to focus on those Kegel muscles. So this is where your prop comes in handy. You can sit on top of a pillow, essentially resting your Kegel muscles on that pillow. And those Kegel muscles are very important. They control the flow of urine and feces. They either hold them in or they let all that out. They also help hold a baby in or help let a baby come out. And they also help keep your organs where they're supposed to be, in place inside of your body. So very important muscles, the foundation. Like I said, it's the foundation of the powerhouse or the core. So you can sit on a pillow. You can, that's going to have the least sensation. You can sit on your knees and sit on top of a foam roller and rest on a foam roller. That's the next intense. And the last is sitting cross-legged with a ball underneath your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is going to rest on whichever surface you're choosing. So I can have my hands here, especially with the ball. It's pretty intense. It's also giving you a pelvic floor massage. So your choice on which surface you want to sit on and get into that position. So remember, as we breathe in, the diaphragm engages, the pelvic floor relaxes. We're going to focus on that inhale And relaxing the pelvic floor over, whether you're sitting just on the floor, sitting on a pillow, sitting on a foam roller, or sitting on a ball. Just breathing in and out, trying to relax your pelvic floor, focusing on your inhale. Now, we're going to focus on the exhale. So on that exhale, you're going to give the ball or the pillow or the foam roller a little squeeze with your pelvic floor. So inhale, relax the pelvic floor. As you breathe out, give that ball a squeeze. Give the pillow a squeeze. Give the foam roller a squeeze. Inhale and relax. Exhale and squeeze. And for now, I don't care what your belly's doing. I know we focus a lot on the abdominals in Pilates. We're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to add that in soon. So inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor. So you're trying to narrow the pelvic floor around whatever prop you're using on the exhale. One more time. Now imagine trying to lift the prop up using your pelvic floor muscles. So now you're going to give that prop a little squeeze and then try to imagine picking it up away from the floor and then lowering it back down. Even my eyebrows go up as I try to do that. So breath in to relax. And as you exhale, engage the pelvic floor, your Kegel muscles, do a Kegel and try to pick your prop up away from the floor. And as you really try to lift that prop up, your transversus abdominis, the abdominal layer actually starts to kick in naturally. Inhale and relax. And exhale, do a Kegel. 2 more times. And 1 more. On the next few, you're going to hold in your pelvic floor as you're breathing in and out. So you're trying to hold onto that prop and keep it lifting away from the floor. Breathe in, relax. Exhale, do your Kegel. And just stay there and breathe. I'm going to count for you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And try not to let the leg muscles get involved or the tush muscles get involved. Try to make it just the muscles that are near or resting on that prop. And again, 1 more time. Do a Kegel on your exhale and hold it in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Come off of your prop. Set it aside for now. And we're going to do a little bit of belly breathing. So speaking of our next part of our core or powerhouse is your transversus abdominis, or TA for short. And that is a corset muscle that wraps from one side of the spine and wraps all the way around to the other. And actually, before we get into that one, let's talk about the multifidus or multifidi. And that is a group of muscles that attaches our vertebrae to each other and they elongate the spine. So sitting up tall, by actively trying to sit up tall or stand up tall, you're activating those multifidi muscles. So now, back to the transversus abdominis, or TA, that corset muscle. You're going to place your hands onto your belly, breathe into your belly, so feeling the belly expand. At the same time, the rib cage is expanding. And as you exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine. That is activating your transversus abdominis. And again, inhale, belly relaxes and goes forward. And exhale, draw your belly in. You can also play with the breath. Breathe in through your nose and say ha. Try that breath again. And now try shh. Now choose the mouth shape that you like the best, that feels like it activates your midsection the most. Three more. Good. Now, for the next 5, it's going to be that transversus abdominis breathing. And you're going to try to do a Kegel at the same time. You're also welcome to bring back one of your props for your Kegel muscles if you'd like. So here we go. 5, 1 breath in. And as you breathe out, do a Kegel. Draw the navel to your spine. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, engage your pelvic floor. Draw your navel in. And again, breath in to relax. And exhale to engage the pelvic floor and the waist and the navel. Last one. Another exercise for the belly. One more focusing on that, and then we're going to do another couple for the pelvic floor. So coming on to hands and knees. Shoulders are over your hands, hips are over your knees. You're in neutral. You're going to stay in neutral. As you inhale, let the belly relax down towards the floor. And as you exhale, suck the belly up and cinch in your waist. Inhale, relax the belly. And exhale, pick it back up. Inhale, relax it. And exhale, pick it back up. So it's just my belly moving, not my spine, not my arms, not my legs. A couple more. And one more. Now keep your belly drawing in. Can you breathe into your ribs and keep the belly lifted? And now exhale, draw your navel in deeper. Into the inhale, into the ribs. Exhale, cinch in your waist. And again. 2 more times. And 1 more. Good, sit back on your heels. That exercise can also be done in child's pose. If on hands and knees, it's too much for the hands and knees, too much weight into the belly. You could also lay in child's pose with your forehead resting on your hands and do the same exercise. Now, another exercise for the Kegel muscles. You're going to lay on your back. You can take your foam roller and place it between your knees. You could also take the pillow and place it between your knees, or take your ball and place it between your knees. And you're going to lie down your back. So feet are in line with your sit bones. Lay on your back. Find your neutral pelvis. We're going to do Kegels along with a little inner thigh action. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw on your pelvic floor, and then give the ball a little squeeze, and then relax everything. And imagine that your pelvic floor is telling your inner thighs to squeeze the ball. So start the Kegel muscles, start those Kegels engaging and narrowing, and then give the ball a squeeze with your knees, and then relax. That squeeze in the knees is actually coming up way up high at your inner thighs, and your inner thighs actually, those muscles, connect near your pelvic floor muscles. So they're neighbors, they're next door neighbors. So again, take a breath in, and as you exhale, do a Kegel. Give the ball a squeeze. Inhale, relax. Exhale, Kegel. Give the ball a squeeze. Inhale and relax. Kegel. Give the ball a squeeze and relax. 1 more. Kegel. Squeeze the ball and relax. We're going to add on. We're going to add the pelvic floor, the inner thighs, and now the backs of the legs, the hamstrings and the gluteal folds. Start with the pelvic floor, add the inner thighs, and then we'll add the backs of the legs to come into a bridge. As you exhale, draw on your pelvic floor, give the ball a squeeze, and then lift from your gluteal folds, lift up into your bridge, holding onto your pelvic floor at the same time. Lower yourself back down. Relax your pelvic floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw on the pelvic floor, give the ball a squeeze, bridge your hips up. Stay here for a breath in. Holding that pelvic floor. Exhale, relax down. At the bottom, you can relax your pelvic floor on the inhale. Again, exhale, Kegels, squeeze the ball, and bridge. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, lower. Only once your pelvis touches the mat can you relax the pelvic floor. And again, Exhale, Kegel muscles, inner thighs, hamstrings, and glutes. Stay there for an inhale. Exhale, lower. Relax your pelvic floor. I don't care how high your bridge is, just as high as you can go, keeping that hold on the pelvic floor. Draw on the pelvic floor. Give the ball a squeeze. Bridge your hips up. So it could be here, or somewhere in between is fine. Lower back down and relax. Let's do one more. Kegel, inner thighs, hamstrings and glutes, and then lower. Your next two, you're going to hold for 10 counts. So you're just going to stay there and breathe, and I will count for you. Do a Kegel. Give the ball a squeeze. Bridge your hips up and stay here and keep holding in that pelvic floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down and then release the pelvic floor. And again, one more time. Breath in, breath out. Kegels. Squeeze the ball. Come into a bridge and hold that bridge for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower your pelvis and relax. All right, last exercise. This can be done standing. I'm going to demonstrate it kneeling. Like I said, you're going to do a squat. It can be done a kneeling squat or a standing squat. So come either to kneeling or standing. And it's similar to our exercise with the bridging. So as the hips are bent, your pelvic floor is relaxed. As your hips come up to straight, you're going to engage your pelvic floor. So first, have your hands on your hips. You're going to either squat back if you're standing or sit back towards your heels, your spine, so nice and long and neutral. Pelvic floor is relaxed. So here's your inhale. Do your exhale. Do a Kegel. Imagine those Kegel muscles are narrowing and lifting you up to hip extension, to a nice long straight spine and long straight legs. And then inhale, relax back down into your squat. Exhale, do a Kegel. Pick your tush off your heels or come up to standing. And then inhale, pelvic floor relaxes, sit bones widen. And again, do your Kegel. Have that Kegel. Imagine that Kegel lifting you up to standing. And then inhale, relax. Widen those sit bones, relax the pelvic floor. And exhale. Engage the pelvic floor. Inhale and relax. And again. Inhale and relax. A few more times. And relax. One more. You're going to stay standing, drawing in your pelvic floor. Keep breathing and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time. Inhale, relax. Exhale, Kegels. Navel to your spine. You're going to feel those gluteal folds working also, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then relax back down. And you're all finished for your 15-minute workout for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.